Yo, what is good, everybody? It's your boy, the Strongest Wizard, and tonight is indeed fight night, and we have another OP07 match here. We got my boy Keith on the left-hand side rocking out that blue Dofi, as well as a Shimoody on the right-hand side with that Law. This is Grand Finals here at DXN Outpost, DXN Provisions, and we have Keith starting us off here with a turn 1 and a pass. Now, obviously, with RP Law, I don't think there really is any turn 1 plays other than maybe playing down Gordon or raise Max turn 1. But for that being said, we're going to go ahead and pass. And now we have the 3-cost Dofi to set up our board, and as well as our future plays. Now, if we take a look at Keith's actual hand here, we have 2 Crocodiles, we have that brand new Law, as well as the 3-cost Dofi and a 4-cost Boa Hancock. Not too amazing, honestly. I mean, we have another Dofi to help us set up for the future turns as well, and we have a couple 2K counters. The Law is kind of nice if we're able to get a little bit, you know, if we get a little sneaky with it and we're able to bottom deck a card out of Smoothie's hand here. But if we take a look at Smoothie's hand, we have one cost character there. We have a Toy Law, 2 Reiju, a Ein, a Sunday, as well as a Kid and Killer. Overall, a very balanced hand. The only thing that we don't have is a blocker. So we're swinging easy 5k into life, and I imagine we're going to see the Toy Law coming down here. Yep, we're going to go ahead and tap 4 for that Toy Law. We're going to go ahead and a minus here, and then use its ability here to bottom deck it, throwing down the Ein and then ramping 1 as rested. Now, a pretty good turn here. We're able to remove a body plus establish another body. We're doing RP Law things here. I would love to get your guys' thoughts and opinions on Ein, the card itself. Lately I've been very anti-Ein, but sometimes it really works, you know what I'm saying? So leave a comment down below. Do you like Ein and RP Law? Yeah, really curious. So we do see a 9k swing going into life, and we see the Jinbei off the top. We're getting a Gecko and then grabbing the Croc back from the trash. Pretty good overall. Smoothie's already at 2 life to Keith 5 life. Yeah, pretty insane here. Now, I think from what people have told me, everyone keeps telling me that Blue Dofi destroys RP Law. I'm very curious to see what you guys think about this. And if we look at Smoothie's hand here, I believe we have a total of 7 cards. A good amount of cards here. So this 5k, we're swinging 5ks into this Jinbei here. We've already pitched a 2k Croc for it. Are we going to possibly pitch the Boa for it? We might. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's really worth it. But what's great about this is that he's gonna end up letting it go. What I was gonna say was that if he does end up letting it live, we can just go straight into the characters, and we see a trigger, and it's actually the Gravity Blade, but we're not gonna use it just yet. We're actually gonna save it so that we can bottom deck 2 characters. Nasty business here. So we're gonna use Shiraya, use the Gordon here, bottom deck it, give it minus 3k. Using leader ability here, we're gonna minus 3 Dawn, bottom deck the Gecko Moria, and we're gonna go ahead and play a Reiju. Now, yes, we did draw a good amount of cards, and now we have 7 cards total in hand, but we currently only have 1 Dawn. So the Dawn, it's pretty rough out here. Now, yes, we don't have any Dawn, but that Shiraya will that Shiraya is going to do some pretty big damage here. Being able to block the attack of the leader as well as copy it is extremely helpful and extremely useful for decks like Gecko Moria or Blue Dofi, anything that's where the leader gets like increasingly high for power. Now, Keith is in a bit of a situation here. He has 6 cards in hand and is currently sitting at 7 Dawn. Now, what Keith totally can do is he can play the Gravity Blade to bottom deck 2 characters and then swing 5k into one of them. But we're not going to go ahead and do that. We're swinging 7k into one of these, into Toy Law. Use its ability here. We're going to go ahead and reveal the top card, which is a Jinbei, and we're going to put that Dofi here. Now, Dofi ability here, we're able to search or look at the top 5, reorganize once again, and we're just consistently making sure that we see all the right pieces all at the right time. It's a really fantastic mechanic that Blue has that, you know, I don't know. Some people say it's really relevant right now. I would disagree, but hey, it works sometimes. So we see that Shiraya coming into play here. We're going to go ahead and block it, copy that leader attack power, and then just give him a 2k counter. Pretty easy here, and that saves us a 4 cost body. And now with 4 Dawn, we might see that Boa Hancock coming down here. And yes, we are going to see the Boa. Unfortunately, we don't have a Dawn to give it. And Schmoody here, not really knowing what this does, since this is an OP01 card. And if you don't know what it does, is if you have 1 Dawn attached to it, and when it attacks or blocks, you get to draw a card. Pretty good here. I mean, it's good as long as it survives, right? If it lives to tell the tale, then it's amazing. If not, it's obviously lackluster here. So we're going to go ahead and go 6k into most likely that Jinbei. And we're going to go 5k into the Jinbei. We're going to give him another 1k, I believe. Yeah, it's 1k. And then we're swinging 6k into the Jinbei. I know for a fact we're probably going for these characters to get cards out of our hand. And that's a 2k counter. And we're swinging 6k into the Jinbei. Are we going to swing with the Shiraya? No, we're not. We're going to go ahead and pass. We can't really swing with a Shiraya because we might just be dead if we did so. So we're going to go ahead and tap 4 Dawn here for that pudding. I think Schmoody had like 6 cards in hand, if not 5. Pretty sure he had 6 though. So no matter what, we're going to go ahead and essentially minus 1 card out of our hand. The hand was pretty good. We do have double Gordon in our hand, and I think we had a 2k. What's really nice about this hand cam is we're actually able to see. So if you are really curious to see what it was, you can go ahead and pause it and see what he had before. And we can do a little bit of cost comparison. Did he actually help us out here? 2k Ein, a Gordon, a Makino, not a Makino, I'm sorry, an Otama, as well as a Kid and Killer. So the Kid and Killer is back, which is pretty good here. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and, looks like we might attack with this Jinbei here. Yeah, I think we're planning on attacking with Jinbei. We might go into one of these characters. I imagine that we just do so. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and swing a 5k and probably into this Toy Law once again. Keith has been eyeing that Toy Law. I think he just wants to get cards out of his hand. Obviously, RP Law does the best when the user is going super wide and overwhelming its opponents. But this 5k swing is kind of a bit of an issue here. We only have this 2k that we just pitched, as well as the Sachi and Penguin. So this 7k swing is going to go ahead and most likely connect. So 7k swing into a character. We're going to go ahead and play the 4-6 vanilla. Now, Smoothie making sure he does read this right. He has 2 active Dawn left, Keith, so he is going to go ahead and attach 2 and then most likely swing with it to draw himself a card and get rid of a body. So if we're swinging 7k, I'm not sure where it's going here, but we are going to grab a non-counter card, which is Red Rock. Actually quite hilarious. Yeah, we're going to get rid of that Reiju, and then also we are going to pass the turn, keeping the Shiraya alive. And this board that Keith currently has is kind of menacing. Unfortunately, he has no counter in his hand, just 2 event cards, and my man Smoothie here has the 4 cards in hand, which are the 2 Ein as well as the Kid and Killer. And it looks like we're going to go ahead and swing 5k, most likely into that Boa Hancock. And yeah, it does end up going down. We're going to go ahead and swing 5k into this other Jinbei. And I think Keith's going to go ahead and let it go. Nothing really else to do. I was assuming he was going to try to like fake it out a little bit. But yeah, I guess not. So if we can actually swing 6k into this Gecko Warrior, get rid of it, play the... possibly play the Raise Max to get rid of... I don't know, is it worth it? I guess it is kind of worth it. I don't know, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough. Because we can put the Raise Max here to try to get rid of the pudding. We for sure will get rid of the pudding. But... yeah, I'm not sure exactly what Smoothie here is thinking about doing. He has a 5 Dawn, and he's actually kind of placing them a bit to the side here. So it looks like we are going to tap, we're going to attach for swing 10k, and we are going to go ahead and play the Raise Max, use its ability here to bottom deck minus 3k, use the leader ability minus 3, play out an Ein, and then pass the turn. Now we do have that Shiraya. Unfortunately, we don't have any counter in our hand, so it is kind of just a dead card. I mean, it is still going to be a block, which is still extremely useful. And if you look, we drew into the 2k counter Mihawk. So we see the Gravity Blade coming down. We're going to go ahead and bottom deck 2 cards, which is going to be that blocker. Swinging 7, 8k into the Ein, and it is going to go ahead and go down. And we're going to probably pass the turn here since we have nothing else to do. So with 2 cards in our hand here, we have the Ein as well as the Kid and Killer, and we have that toy law on the board. This is where we have to kind of start pressing the damage here because we have no other choice. So we're gonna go ahead and swing 5k. I imagine we swing 5k, 6k, and then we play out the Ein. That's what I imagine we're probably gonna do here. I mean, I guess that's a world. Okay, yeah, 7k into life, and then looks like we're swinging 8k into life here, and he is going to be forced to take this. Yep, dropping down to 2 life. We're going to go ahead and use leader ability here to play the Ein to ramp 1 Dawn and pass the turn. Of course, Smoothie here does not know exactly what's in Keith's hand, so even though you and I know, my man does not know. So we're going to attach 3 Dawn possibly to this leader, as what it looks like is probably going to be the move here. We do have that Boa Hancock, which is actually pretty annoying to deal with if you're RP Law. It's just a really big body that you can't get rid of. So we're going to go ahead and use its ability here to play out the Weevil to draw a card. We're swinging over the Toy Law, which does of course go down, and now we are going to go ahead and play that Boa Hancock to stun the Ein. This is probably worst case scenario if you're Smoothie here, just because we're able to deal with the board, stun the character, and deal some damage. Plus we had 2 cards in our hand, now we have 5, so that's a really great addition for Weevil here in the deck, being able to allow you to draw some cards. Now unfortunately for Keith, we have a couple of deck cards in our hand. The Red Rock can be very useful in this matchup toward the late game if you're just trying to get rid of some bodies and you have literally nothing else to do, but for the most part that pudding is pretty irrelevant. If anything, it's a 1k counter at best, which is not terrible. And then we have the Jinbeis. Now the Jinbeis are obviously super nice, you want to go super wide with them, so those being in hand are phenomenal. And of course we have the Mihawk, which is a 2k counter. I mean, for the most part it's a 2k counter. We can play it off the Jinbei if we really wanted to, but yeah, most likely not here. So Smoothie here on the right with his Bon Clay in his hand. Now we can do some damage here. We can most likely clear out his life, but we are only at 2 life left as well. So if we try to go for a life here, we could probably succeed. The only unfortunate part is that we'll be just dead next turn. So that is really, really bad. And we've used up all our Gordons, so we have no more Gordons or any sort of power reduction in our hand as well. So I think the best plan of action is to have as many counter as we possibly can in our hand, do as much damage, and then kind of just pass the turn. Honestly, if it was up to me here, I probably would swing like 7, 8, keep 3 cards in my hand. Hopefully we chip him down to 1 life, and then yeah, I guess we kind of pray here, pretty much in a very difficult position here. Definitely on the clock. If we had a blocker, actually I just realized this, Schmoothy hasn't even seen a single blocker this game other than the Shiraya, right? No 5-cost blockers. I'm not sure exactly if he's running the 5-cost Queen, but of course I can imagine he is running the 5-cost blocker Kid, which is a huge important card for this deck. And we even saw Reiju too, so that is just the name of the game for this deck. There is a ton of really good cards in this deck, and it just really depends if we see it or not. So this 5k swing does not connect here. We're going to go ahead and tap 4 for the Bon Clay to ramp us to Dawn. Use leader ability here to play out the Kid and Killer, and then we're going to swing 9k into the Weevil here, and then we are going to go ahead and counter it out. Very, very unfortunate. I wonder if it would have connected if we swung. Oh, we can't even swing with the Ein because she's stunned. Oh no. So this is a 7k swing, most likely going into life. With 1 card in hand, it's just simple math here. 7k swing, and then we see the 9k swing, and then we see the rest for game. Keith does end up taking it. Thank you guys so much for checking out this channel. This video, I really appreciate it, and stay tuned because I have a ton of new OP07 content coming out soon. See ya.